The Denon AH-D5000 headphones were among the first high-end cans I ever got my hands on. Notably, the two before it that I'd used were the AKG K701 and the Sony MDR SA5000s. The D5000 impressed me immediately from the first listen 12 years ago, and that was even before I had a proper headphone amp. Their sound signature is pretty spot on with what I want in headphones without needing EQ, which is to say, I like deep, punchy bass that goes subwoofer deep but isn't muddy. The mids clear and detailed, and I like crisp and slightly bright highs that aren't harsh or sibilant. With so much focus in the audiophile community on neutral headphones, I recently found it pleasing to dig out my D5000s again and listen to what is still very detailed but are clearly headphones meant for music to sound fun and engaging rather than to be reference neutral. After over 10 years of use, the Denon AH-D5000s have definitely shown their wear in the headphones and earpads. The earpads are still fairly comfortable, but seeing the fabric through the pleather is of course a bit worrisome. And the headband is no longer padded at all, enough to be comfortable for longer sessions. The mahogany ear cups and drivers themselves were still in great shape though, so I started wondering, could replacement earpads and headband bring these fantastic headphones back to a like-new condition and comfort level to where I could wear them again every day instead of leaving them in a closet and busting them out just every now and again for fear of ruining them. Accessory House Global happens to sell lambskin leather replacement pads on Amazon that fit the D5000 and a variety of other Fostex themed headphones. Removing the old pads is as simple as pinching the edges where the pad connects to the headphone body and gently but firmly tugging them out. Underneath is a plastic ring that snaps into the main body and can be twisted to unsnap. This makes sliding the new pads on much easier since you can slip the leather wrap easily around the plastic ring. Then press the ring up against the headphone body and push down on it, and then twist so you can lock that plastic ring back into the headphone body. It took a little doing because the headphone pad wanted to keep sliding around as I twisted instead of twisting the plastic thing, but it still ended up being easier, I'm sure, than it would have been trying to just slide the leather pad surround into the plastic ring while still connected to the body. These new pads are nice and thick and extremely comfortable to wear. Since it's been about 12 years since my Denons were new, I can't recall at this point if the original pads had started out this thick, but if they did, they haven't been this lush in many years. Big improvement in the comfort. And the soundstage is improved a bit as well because they hold the driver further away from the ear than before. The old pads were compressed enough that I could feel on the tip of my upper ear touching the actual driver area. And as I've noticed in the past with other headphones when switching pads, using thick leather replacement pads, the bass is ample. Not that on these headphones the bass was ever not ample, but it had degraded somewhat over the years along with the pads. The new pads make a subtle but appreciable improvement there as well. But the headband replacement is about as easy to install as it gets. After removing the original headband by either unscrewing the connector plates at either end or just cutting the leather material off around it, the new headband wraps around the metal band and snaps closed. Real easy. This is where the biggest improvement to comfort actually came from. Not only because of how worn out and thin the original headband had become, but because I don't think that original headband ever had much cushion to it and had always noticed that after wearing it for a while it was the top of my head that would get sore much more than the sides of my head with the pads. This headband is noticeably thicker and significantly more comfortable if you're listening to a whole album at once and not simply a song or two. While the new headband is definitely not actual leather like the earpads are, it does seem like it could last a while and packs a nice amount of cushion, and was only $15. All in all, this has been a fun experience, and I'm extremely happy to restore a wonderful pair of headphones I bought 12 years ago that have consistently been among my favorites, and cool to be able to hang them up on a headphone rack and make them part of my everyday listening once again. Thanks for watching.